Mr. Ross Rosseland here. He's going to give us a little once-over on his rifle that he uses for the 22 Marksman Challenge. Go for it, Ross.
This rifle is a little more stock compared to Jim's. Where he had the aftermarket Lilja barrel, this is just a standard CZ varminter barrel. I put these weights on to try to dampen out some of the harmonics. I have a Versapod QD adapter and a bipod. This is a Bushnell 6-24 FFP scope. It's a Tacticool stock. The CZ 455 with Tacticool is around 500 bucks. This scope is about $950. The bipod and the QD are about 100. We got a Southwest Industries cheap rest. This is a shoulder recoil pad from an El Gamo air gun. I cut the spring on the trigger, otherwise a stock trigger, stock bottom metal, stock bolt,
and you will be shooter number 3.
And the 10-round mag.
It shoots real well.
Shoots pretty good, pretty fun.
All right.
The scope is the key. This being an FFP that focuses down to 25 yards is critical to be able to see the close-up targets. So you want to try to rig it up and shoot some
Yeah, we'll
targets
shoot
with
through
it?
there. So Ross, you do a couple things a little different than a lot of guys. You have four mounts on the scope. Give me your Wichawai.
My last gun seemed to come loose sometimes. I do not have the dip Picatinny rail on here. This is just the standard 11mm dovetail. And so I tried to double up the scope mounts just to make it a little stronger, a little more rigid.
I see. That makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Yep.
And then I don't see too many guys running a weight. I noticed a few today when they had to take off their suppressors, they put a weight on there. So did you machine this or?
These were pieces of an aircraft actuator that I just machined at home, pretty cheap. Just set them on with O-rings. They're actually removable.
Can you pull it off? Let me see. Or is that gonna
I might have to pull pretty hard. I don't want to do it right now.
No worries.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you actually have a rubber O-ring.
Rubber O-rings. It seems to tighten up the groups a little bit.
Yeah. Very interesting. Well, let's rig it up and take a few shots. Why not? All right. So we got set up here on his.
All right. So this is the FFP. So you notice that the reticle zooms in as the targets zoom in. So we'll start back here at.
So this can be a plus and a downside. The plus is that it's always going to have the right amount of distance. So if you're measuring your target or holding over, no matter what magnification you're on, you're going to be set.
Yep.
The downside is if you're hunting and you got it zoomed out all the way, that reticle is really, really tiny, which can be a challenge. But for the most part,
if you zoom out all the way,
an advantage. Let's zoom in this.
Kind of hard to see.
Pretty tiny.
Are we focused?
Yeah, pretty good. I've got to move this thing a little bit. There we go.
All right, you want to take a few shots?
Yeah, let's do it.
How's that?
Get closer there.
All right, so we didn't dope the scope. We're just going to hold off with the reticle. Can you move it forward just a little bit?
Yeah, there we go.
So we're going to do 1.5.
It's getting tricky.
There we
That'll
go.
work though. I just have to push down on it to get there though.
All right. See what happens if we can hit it. Ready?
Got it. It's a wee bit louder than that suppressed one, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll do 1.5 again. There you go.
Got it.
And then, like you were saying, if you're hunting, you zoom out. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, those little hashes get very tiny.
Yep. Cool.
Very cool. Thank you, sir.
Yep.